One thing that I hear people note a lot when they come in is, oh, I didn't see that, oh, I didn't see that. And there's like all these little things. There's like always something new to discover. I'm Allison McKean, and this is my handmade home in Gardiner, Maine. I live here with my husband, Matt. We're both artists, both collectors. We bought our house in 2019. When we saw the inside, we were like, yes. We love that the previous owners kind of kept a lot of the character. We did things like painting all the walls white to give it more of like a gallery feeling and let the objects speak for themselves. And then we each did like accent walls. I block printed this little wall as like a little accent with a little chair stamp one at a time. And then Matt did a mural in the entryway. One of my favorite details is these like semi-abstract cherubs on the ceiling, like referencing older paintings. I do think it's a fun way to enter the house because it kind of like welcomes you into whatever vibe our house is. Like it gives you a sense of who we are, I think, like right from the start. So this is just another like living room slash sitting room slash display area. Most of the things in our house are either found, meaning they're from like a thrift store, yard sale, antique fair, something like that, and or maybe they're handmade by somebody that we know. Like this is an antique storage bench. Our couch over there was a Facebook Marketplace find, very lucky. I think when I'm putting together like a vignette or a display area, I'm thinking a lot about the flow and the balance of it. So it's not necessarily that these objects have a direct relationship to each other, but more that like aesthetically they balance each other out. Muted tones, but they're balanced by like pops of color, and there's like a yellow car and a yellow light bulb. I do see parallels between my home and my artwork where there's like these objects existing next to each other, and they might make sense next to each other, but they might not, but aesthetically it kind of just works. One of my favorite pieces in this room is this ceramic lamp, which was made by a friend and ceramic artist, Juliet Walker. I put it there as soon as I got it when we first bought the house, and it hasn't moved since because it's just the perfect spot for it. I kind of make this joke, if Matt brings something home, you can tell how much I like it by how quickly it finds a spot in our home. Like if I really like it, it's like I'll immediately take and be like, put it somewhere. And if I don't like it, I might kind of like dance around it for a while, not touch it, or like put it in the bathroom. I feel like if it's in the bathroom, then you know it's not my favorite. Matt is a sign maker, so he was able to make large vinyl decals. So that is what our fridge is, the VHS tape. It's also kind of fun because then it keeps us from like plastering it with all of our stuff. So we do that on the side. And then this remains like a statement. Let's look at my mug collection. They're all handmade ceramic mugs by artists from Maine and across the US. Some of them I know in person, some of them I just follow online. But I'm just really drawn to the mug as like an icon, as a shape. At a certain point, it definitely exceeded like a practical amount of mugs and became a full-blown collection, and there's no end in sight. There was like a cabinet here and a backsplash, and we took those down and just put up these like super simple, straightforward shelves. Just gives them their moment that I think they deserve. Another fun detail is these skull drawer knobs. This was another one of our first projects, and I like them because you don't really notice them at first, and then it's like a fun little surprise. And then over here is some rocks and claws from the coast of Maine, my claw collection, my claw-lection. This is our dining room. I love the table. It's from an outdoor flea market. It was like outside for a long time, getting like rained on. It was already painted with this checkerboard pattern, which I love. And I also kind of like that it's like a bit beat up. I mean, that's kind of our aesthetic anyways, but it's kind of nice because you don't feel too precious about it, which is kind of a plus. We gave it a clear coat and just like tightened up the legs, and I just love it. The story that the piece brings with it, like is it beat up or is there like a lot of texture to it? Like it's not brand new and shiny, it's been through a lot. I think that's kind of appealing. It just has like such a history and you can feel that. The mantle, I think, actually changes quite a bit, just depending on mood, I guess. This banana still life painting has been there for a long time, and it hasn't been rotated out. I think it just fits the space really nicely, so I don't really see moving it anytime soon. When we moved in, we actually did already have a lot of the things that are here now. That being said, we do also kind of rotate things out. Like, we're always out treasure hunting and looking for new things, so things do tend to come and go, and we just kind of like fit them into the space while they're here. I don't think there was like a specific intention to end up with a bunch of giant items, but we just keep stumbling upon them, and they're always so much fun to be around and just put in our home. We have acquired a couple pencils, a couple of giant crayons, this tooth stool chair thing, giant salt and pepper shaker. A normal object can become really fun when it's like really small or really big. It was really funny because at the time I was driving a VW Bug and they barely fit inside the car. I really love the direction this is going in. I work from home sometimes if I'm not at the studio, and typically I will do that in this room. It gets really nice morning light, so it's a very nice spot to start my day. I do spend a lot of time looking in this direction. I'm like always rearranging and messing with this area. So this piece of painted board was a fragment of a sign that somebody cut up for the purpose to patch a hole in a ceiling. It was at an antique store, and so Matt, he's like, if I bring you a piece to patch your ceiling, can I take that one? And they said yes. So he actually kind of made their ceiling better, and we got this. We do really love a lot of texture, a lot of patina, things that are a little bit beat up and broken, things that maybe aren't necessarily decor items, but like, why can't they be? Trash can be decor if you want it to be. I feel like this is a couple of good examples of things that are broken and or are like maybe not seen as decor objects, but we've made them into decor objects. I really love, I think it's like a fawn. There's like rebar sticking out and just like lichen that grew over the surface of the cement, and there's no head. And this old sweatshirt, which I think was circus, like a play costume, was a plain sweatshirt that somebody sewed stripes onto. This is a painting that my grandfather did of my grandmother. I think it was stopped while it was in progress. I think it's not finished. It was found like years later when my parents were going through his stuff, and they were actually going to like throw it away or something, and then thankfully we were able to rescue it because like we love it. And we love that he was using the board as like a palette and just the whole thing as like an object, as like a 3D object rather than like a polished painting is really fun. And then this is a lamp that was in Matt's parents' basement, and he took it and fixed it up and made it into a lamp. I'm like always trying to achieve having a really inspiring environment. It's a tricky balance to not have it be too minimal and like understimulating for me personally, or like overstimulating, but having all the objects that we love surrounding us and inspiring us, which I guess is how I would want other people to feel. A little bit of calm, a little bit of inspired without being like overstimulated also, kind of balancing those two.
Pink Palace. HGTV. Yes, I've been expecting you. Head right up. All right, see you soon. Bye. They're here. They're here. It's like a dollhouse. I live in a dollhouse. I'm Kitten. This is Peekaboo, and this is our handmade home in West Hollywood, California. I am the pink queen, the pink lady of Hollywood, the pinkest person in the world. I'm just like, I wear many pink hats, but I'm a recording artist and a TV personality. I first fell in love with pink in 1980 when, for some reason on my birthday, I had on all pink. I just chose an all pink outfit, and from that moment on, I had a spiritual awakening, and I just felt like I found myself. The next day, literally the next day, I gave everything away to my sisters that was not. I had to go out and buy a whole new pink wardrobe. My family thought it was a phase. They were just like, you know, are you sure you don't want this blue skirt? I love it, it's so cute. I'm like, no. I just realized that I was going to be pink for the rest of my life, and I will be. Welcome to my confection kitchen. My refrigerator's pink, my microwave's pink, my toaster's pink. Oh, I have this pink ice chest that I had specially made. It says the Pink Palace. Because this is the, and then I put like, actually, it's not ice, but it's like just fun jewels in there. These little things are fun, and they make it look more precious. You know, even my bleach is pink. Like I don't do any of the colors. I not only do pink clothes, which is what a normal monochromatic does, but I'm also a pink life. So I only buy pink, wear pink, live pink, speak pink. I even have my own language is pink, like pink-tastic or pink-credible, or everything I try to say, I say pink. Like out of the blue, it's out of the pink. Like I will make up words and people, particular, which means particular. It's totally obsession, but it's not hurting anybody, so I'm just going to keep doing it until the damn in my pink coffin. I forgot the question. Seriously, no. What was the question? So the pink sink and the pink stove, I had to have it refinished. Everything that has anything white is gone. There's no traces. And this was all brown, of course. We put these little handles on. They're just decorative and cute. You know, it's just fun. When I moved into this place, everything was white and brown and beige. It was so boring, like brown and beige. Beige is the most boring color in the world. Black is the next most boring. It's not even a color, it's just dark. Sorry, he's wearing all black. I'll take you over here. I love my furniture. It is so 70s, and like, I don't know, it's just hard to find inflatable, sturdy furniture that does not pop or collapse when your dog jumps up on it. Another dream was me being on the cover of Vogue. I wanted it so bad. I love Vogue. Growing up, it was Vogue, 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 Vogue. It was my fashion Bible. But a person doing my makeup one day said, "You're too," and I said, we were talking about dreams. I said, I have a dream. I want to be in Vogue magazine. She goes, "You're too old to be in Vogue." Okay, well that killed me. I just sat there and I thought, watch me. I guess who's on the cover of Vogue? Full freaking fashion photo spread. Don't ever say someone's too old, to this, to that, to this. Dreams become things. Hello? Living proof, right here. Living proof. Another thing that's hard to find is pink paper towels. They don't make them. This is my lip sofa, a replica of the Dolly red pink lip sofa that costs thousands of dollars, almost $1 million, but it's my version of it, and I love it so much. And then you just throw a feather boa up on your chandelier and add some pink, and it makes it look, you know, make stuff look at pink. If it's not pink, you can make it look pink with the appearance. When people walk through the door of the Pink Palace, I just want them to feel a sense of like love and warmth and fun and happiness. And a lot of times when they do walk through the door, they're like stunned. They know I love pink. They see it on the outside, but when you get in here, it's even like pink overdrive. Now, the funniest thing is I went on a blind date with this guy who was colorblind, and I didn't know he was colorblind, so I'm like, you know, waiting for no reactions whatsoever. Like, pinks me up, comes in, like, so I just have to know, what do you think? And he goes, about what? And I said, oh, the pink. And he goes, oh, you're wearing pink? Looks great to me. I'm colorblind. I laughed so hard. I gave him the pink slip. I said, next. because I have to be with someone that at least appreciates the pink. Oh, and this right here is a little, my friend Pinkini gave me this. She made it. It's beautiful. It's a dog carrier. So yeah, she's an actual gifted little artist like this. You put the pink pup in here and you go for like a walk. People are freaking out. They're like, welcome to the rest of the Pink Palace. I would say the proudest DIY moment in my home would be between the carousel and the bed. I love the carousel because it's fun. It's got little candy on it. So with the bottom of the base, it was wooden, and we painted it, so it's pink underneath, but it just looks so plain. You know, this is all gorgeous, and we just needed something to fluff it up. It works. I got this on Craigslist. Peekaboo. I got this on Craigslist for Peekaboo, no.
Peekaboo, come here.
Go say hi. I got this. Peekaboo, come here. So this is Peekaboo, my little pink pom. She's super sweet. I use beet juice in the bath to color her fur. It's just like 2-3 tablespoons of beet juice, and it works out perfect. And look how pretty she looks. She looks beautiful. I don't have a recliner, I have a throne and a crown. Everyone should have a throne and a crown. And I found this on Craigslist too. I actually got that by working for it. Like, I saw that on Craigslist and I wrote the person, I said, hey, I'm the pink queen, I'm the queen of pink. But I was like, I love the throne so much. I will clean your apartment. I can clean your house for 3 months. And he wrote back, he goes, are you a good cleaner? But I only cleaned his house for like 2 months and I got the throne, but I felt like Cinderella, like looking at that throne. We're gonna go over to my fabulous pink round bed that I love. So comfortable. Peekaboo likes it too. I love this because it's sort of a dramatic effect. You know, you just kind of like, this is a mosquito net, I think, but you know, it's basically for drama. I mean, you're laying down and you just feel like so beautiful and dramatic. It's dramatic. Love it. So what I do is at the start of the day, I go get dolled up in my vanity, and then I'll come over here and go, how do I feel today? Because to me, these are like kind of retro 70s. So I'll put these on. It's like, hey, I have a problem if I see sunglasses online or somewhere, even at the Fairfax swap meet over there at Melrose, the trade. I'm like, oh, how, you know, they know me. They're like, here, these pink ones pink. I'm like these are like space alien. Like, I love these. These are so awesome. These are probably one of my favorites right here because they're so hilarious. Furry, like furry. If I'm feeling rock star. I actually got 2 pairs of these because I love them so much. My makeup artist gets so mad because I always want to wear something. He's like, you can't see your eyelashes. I just did all this makeup and you're pink. You know, if I'm by the pool, of course I want the flamingo ones because they're hilarious. They're amazing. I love sunglasses because it just completes the look. It even gives it more of a, like, I understand Elton John so much because he loves sunglasses like I love sunglasses. And then I come over here. This is the first thing, and then this is just extra costume stuff. I come over here and I get dolled up. And then all this, I'll say, you are pink starburst, you know, custom. Because I am a pink starburst. And then this is all my costume stuff, my hats, like this custom hat made just for me, fun, fabulous. Did a photo shoot in this, which is like, oh my gosh, flamingos. Oh, this is sort of rock and roll, wow. All sequin jacket, which you know, you can never have enough sequin. This sequin, oh my gosh, jacket. I went through a metallic stage. I don't know, just fun. It's like, wow. I don't know what I wore that for. Can't remember. This robe, I'll put this on later, but this is like dramatica. Top hat, you never know. I don't even wear this on New Year's Eve. And that's it. Now I gotta put everything up. I love my pink bathtub. It is my favorite because every night I take a bubble bath. I love bubbles. I just love my pink toilet. It makes me happy. I know that's crazy, but it's like the other throne. They're like, we can't do a pink toilet. I'm like, why? Please, please, I'm begging you. And he's like, because we can't go inside the toilet and do it. I'm like, I don't care about the inside. That's what the whole, just do the, all I care about is the outside, the visual, you know? I'm not gonna worry about if the inside is pink. I think every home needs some pink. I mean, every home needs a pop of pink. Every home in America, in the world actually, needs a pop of pink, because pink is a fun color.
When people come into our space, they usually walk in like, oh, hey, what's up? And then they'll look to the side and be like, what the? And it's like immediately very impactful and hopefully very transformative. You walk 5 steps in and you're just in another zone completely. I'm Chatham, and this is my handmade home in Birmingham, Alabama. Well, initially when we got this space, I was going for like a 1970s Scarface, ultra modern look, which immediately like got the can. I realized that I had too much stuff to be even like aspiring to that look. It's just ridiculous. Like this cabinet has some fun junk in it. Practical, sensible brown dress with glasses for day-to-day wear. So in the past, I used to have a boutique called Charm, and it was one of several boutiques that I've owned. I would go to a ton of estate sales, ostensibly to be looking for the shop, but let's face it, like the really good stuff, I would say like, oh, this is great for Charm, and then I would, of course, bring it home and hoard it and add it to the collection of knick-knack, paddywhack that you see before you to this very day. I grew up on Long Island. I collected things on the beach because I was basically a hoarder in training from like day one. They were like treasures. I mean, they felt like mermaid's treasures or something. And I still, if I see a beautiful shell at an estate sale or in an antique mall or something like that, I'll get it. Oh, this guy here, Percy, no big deal. I don't know how Percy went out, but I know he went out a while ago, and I always kind of wanted to pet a fox. He feels really nice. There are so many things about the things that I pick that I respond to. If it's ridiculous, I love that. If it's ghoulish a little, love that. Just out and out dumb, I love that. If it's super unusual, if it's made with very labor-intensive processes, if it's kind of a lost art, anything glittery, anything sparkly, anything kind of talismanic, it just sends me. I mean, I just love it. When I travel, I like to pack like a ridiculously small amount of stuff in a suitcase that fits under the seat, and then I bring empty collapsible bags to carry home. So going there, I'm packing like a ninja, and coming home, I'm like just loaded down with extra bags and carry-ons and having to check suitcases and all that kind of stuff. This guy is, he's an African fetish figure. Mostly from China, found it in Mexico, from the flea market in Paris. And I walked around the flea market like 4 times. You never know what you're gonna find. And the idea of being open to it and not only getting a cool souvenir, but getting a beautiful object as well is really exciting to me. So the gallery wall was a giant pain in the ass to hang. It's my favorite DIY project of this place, because if I sit down, every time I look, I notice something else that's sort of thrilling or ridiculous or silly or funny. It's taken probably 6 months to get to this point. It took a long time. Believe it or not, there was actually editing involved. For every single thing that's out, there's probably another thing to match it that's jammed into storage in the basement, or jammed up in a closet, or just jammed up where anything is jammable. And cooking doesn't really happen up in this piece. So this guy is a pretty handy dandy storage spot for stuff that I'll never use, but is extremely fancy. So basically, this is a fancy paperweight and a storage box. I've always been a big fan of books. I didn't collect them for their color. I just happen to have so many books that I eventually could arrange them by color. It's kind of like trying to make a lot of sense out of nonsense. So to create zones within the loft, I just tried to do it through like furniture groupings, and this area that we're sitting in has the rugs, and that kind of zones it out as like kind of a chill out relaxation zone. So I think the only way to like make it look comprehensive is to group like stuff with like, and to limit the palette, because I feel like since I'm not willing to edit my stuff so much, I have to edit something about it. When people are in here, I definitely want them to feel first welcome, second kind of transformed, third, it would be kind of cool if they felt curious. Like I want them to walk around and look at these things because I enjoy walking around and looking at all these amazing things. And if they want to open cabinets or open drawers or open whatever they want to look at, they can look at. It's all kind of joyful, even if it's not terribly well organized or if it's a messy drawer. It's still fun to look.
I'm Jeannie. This is my handmade home in New York City. This is Tater Tot, my English bulldog. He's 7 years old. He kind of runs the show around here. He's actually the social media manager of my business. He doesn't do a lot, except he makes some appearances on Instagram. So I have a lifestyle curation company, and what we do is help people who are overwhelmed, disorganized, and constantly stressed by mental and physical clutter. However, I also love stuff, and I'm not capable of just admiring one thing. I have to suddenly make it a collection. I'm a maximist, but I'm also an organizer, and I think what's really important is that you need to have a discerning eye, but you also need to curate and kind of keep collections and things together. In my living room, I really only have one wall in which to place a lot of art and the television, so I kind of created a salon wall and put most of my art together there. I actually have this carnival railing. It's from the UK. It's the railing on a carousel, and I didn't really have a place for it, but it ended up being perfect as like to top off the TV, because sometimes when you put art over it, it looks a little diminutive, it's small, and this was so big and it just fit perfectly, and it kind of lends itself to the cartoony, vintage, colorful feel of my apartment. This is probably my favorite collection and most active of my collections. It's Carnival chalkware. I decided to go a little psycho and really put them all together. A lot of people think they're kind of creepy. I don't. I think they're cute. They're crudely painted, but they're not creepy. I've got the Lone Ranger, and he's got hot pink pants on. The lunchbox collection is probably my oldest collection. I don't get to buy lunchboxes too often anymore because they're so rare, and also they're really expensive. But I have been lucky enough to get a couple of my favorite. I love this dome top. That's what this style of lunchbox is called, but the Bozo the Clown dome top I love. And then also, disco. And I went rainbow order because I felt like it just made it easier on the eyes when you looked at it, and it didn't become overwhelming. I have been coveting this wallpaper for years. It's called Luxury, and it's got rainbows and diamonds and stars and interiors of private planes and hot rods, Shelby hot rods in there. I just love it. But when you step away from it, it actually has like kind of a Japanese koi feeling to it. And I just was like, I have to live with this wallpaper. It has to be here. When I moved to this apartment, it had a great modern light that came with the apartment, but no, that's not okay for me. I had to have my pink chandelier present in the apartment. It's everything, this chandelier. I love it. It's bright, it's colorful, it's like candy to me. Instead of a traditional chain cover, I decided to insert fake flowers all the way up and kind of create this cornucopia to the ceiling, and it kind of just looks like it belongs in a garden. Normally I don't like advocate having all of your collections in the kitchen. Generally I try and bring in food themed collections like my Bob Big Boy. I also have the Colonel. This just happened to be the perfect space for this. It's my bobblehead collection. The most important part of my kitchen is my yellow ceiling. I can't live without yellow paint. I have to have yellow paint somewhere in my home. So I thought that having a sunny ceiling in the kitchen was the thing that made the most sense. I have this light fixture that is from a carousel railing from the UK. I had it wired for American Standard. It's kind of like my Showtime lighting. And then we can't forget the wallpaper. So it's actually the same exact story as the wallpaper in the living room. It's in teal. I have this piece of furniture that came from IKEA like in 1990, and it was just basic, but it is so indispensable that I have yet to let go of it. And I decided to cover it all up with pinup girls. I actually did these bottle caps and I filled them all with like glitter and then images I love. And then you'll see the reason why I can't let go of this. It holds all my t-shirts. It's perfect. And so I get to have something fun and whimsical and colorful and kitschy and a little sexy in the bedroom. I always had this thing for like toolkits as nightstands. I love it. I actually had plexi cut for the top so it's mirrored, and then inside what I ended up doing, it's got a lot of storage, but as Tater will demonstrate, I covered it all with oilcloth because one cannot have enough oilcloth in their lives. You see a little sample of the wallpaper because I literally have been begging for this wallpaper for so long. But I love it. I love that it brings a like industrial element into a very girly, pinky kind of bedroom.
I think that things that you love are absolutely timeless. If you really love them, they're timeless.
Hi, my name is Judy Aldridge, and this is my handmade home in Fort Worth, Texas.
My connection to art actually is more of a recent thing. I started adding to my art collection and just completely fell in love with collecting art. I just love to see the way that other people express themselves. And I was primarily collecting vintage art, but then I thought, okay, well, these artists have kind of come and gone. And then I thought, I really can support new and upcoming artists, knowing how hard it is to break into that world. It really started with Instagram and constantly changing my house around. My Instagram handle is @AtlantisHome, and I just love that whole design community. You can meet someone who is just as far out as you are, who are people that are much crazier than I am with their designs. So I love that. I moved into this house 15 years ago. It looked really, really bad. It was terrible. This horrible carpet that I'm not even sure what color it was originally because it had been on the ground for so long. It was just filth. And lots of chintzy or little dainty wallpapers, and it was kind of a mess. And lots of country and western railing, like a country and western bar. But I liked the bones of it. That kind of had that modern vibe that I liked. My sister and I, we acid washed the floors because I didn't want to put wood floors down. So those have evolved a bit, but this is like the foundation. The concrete floors give it kind of a lofty feel. I've always felt like this is a house that's very casual, and if you try to add things that are very fancy, it just doesn't work. It would look pretentious or out of place. I think it should be a very simple place. I would describe my style, it's really hard because I think the word eclectic is just overused. So I'm gonna say that it's evolving, that it's collected, and hopefully it's cool.
Right now, we're in my living room. Some of my favorite things in this space, one of them is this basket that I found at the thrift store, which was a great find. I know a lot of people remember this from my Instagram. It was a big deal. Everyone was freaking out when I found it. And so his name is Stuart. That's one of my favorite things. I love my Rob Eckhart chairs.
The way that I started adding color back into my life was the purchase of the hot pink chairs. People always call them red, and they're not, they're hot pink. When you pull up the top rooms on Instagram or whatever, there's a lot of beige, there's a lot of gray, there's a lot of white. When I bought these into my house, it was just like kind of life-changing. I just thought, wow, this is really fun. I want more of this.
So one of my favorite pieces is this horse, and unfortunately we can't decipher the name of the artist, but it was actually like an edition of 19. It makes you really wonder where the other 18 of these exist. So this pineapple is from Mexico. It's from the Michoacan region. They're really known for this style of, I believe it's terracotta. This is one of the larger ones, and I don't recommend importing one because it was a real challenge to get it here.
I have a lot of books because I think people talk about meditation. For me, books, that's my meditation. And I reference design constantly. I'm always like, oh, what about that? Or I remember that image. I want to go back and see that image because there was something I liked about it. Then I also have a lot of vintage books. And some of the 80s design is so inspiring to me, or old Santa Fe design.
Now we are in my dining room. I do like to cook, so I wanted to have a nice place where we could sit down and have a nice dinner. But also I wanted it to be a multitasking, multifunctional space where I could have my reference books, put my computer, sit down and get some work done too. Of note,
The Saarinen table.
it's the only new piece of furniture in my house. I gave in to my husband and we got the Saarinen table, and I do love it. It's really nice and it's a little bit smaller, so it kind of fits the space a little bit better. So this is my kitchen. For me, I will always have an all-white kitchen. I want a place that's bright and cheerful. I wanted a farm table as opposed to a kitchen island because I just wanted it to feel more like your grandma's kitchen. For me, open shelving works. These are the bowls that I make my dog's dog food in this. So these are definitely the things that I use. So this is my entryway. I change it around a lot. Sometimes I'll have a cool long table here, some great lighting, sculpture. But right now, it is definitely just reflecting the whole art gallery feeling from the living room with just a lot of great pieces of art and the Warren Plattner chair. Let's go upstairs.
You know, I'm just constantly inspired by vintage pieces. It's not just about saving money, but it's about making your home look like your own space instead of like, oh, I know you just got that at so-and-so. It makes it look collected instead of just purchased.
Right now we're upstairs in my loft, and this is my favorite room in the house. It's where I come to have a cup of tea. Some of my favorite things are these busts, which are vintage Horchow, and I found them in a dusty old shop in Arizona and drove my husband crazy because I had to hand carry them back on the plane, and he was just like, no, can we just please leave them? And I was like, no, these have to come with us. So they kind of dictated the rest of our trip. I made these paintings from paper mache. Paper mache the frames and then did the little flat canvases, but the frames are supposed to be kind of a funny take on faux bois.
The thing that I love about paper mache is the freedom. You have to just make whatever the heck you want. And it's cheap and it's like recycling and it's not too precious. When you're dealing with flour, water, and newspaper, it's like, I can just mess this up and no one's gonna care.
This is for my grandson that's on the way, and I'm so excited. So this is Henry's nursery. My design approach to this room is just, I'm not gonna buy anything for this nursery other than the crib. Literally everything else I have, the rug, the curtains, all the art. This painting on the wall, my daughter Jane did, and it's like a little baby dinosaur, so I thought it was just perfect to have in Henry's nursery.
The thing that I love most about design, I guess, is just the freedom to make your space look the way that you want it to look. So design makes your life better.